Hey guys, I'm back to doing this again. So I was shooting these little stream of consciousness videos. Oh, it was probably the beginning of this year, I believe. And I stopped doing it because it just wasn't really, I didn't have I guess I didn't really have a need to develop the skill. But now I sort of do have a need to develop the skill, and it actually makes sense to develop the skill. So here I am. I've returned. I think I grossly underestimated how valuable of a skill this is. Just the ability to perform in front of a camera. It's similar to sort of speaking in front of an audience, but it's probably not quite as, big. Speaking in front of an audience, I think, is more valuable, but this is still a good tool to have. So I've been developing my own insurance business, and now I'm at a point where I want to start making sales videos, and I thought, man, I was doing these videos earlier this year, and I think I started in late last year, and I did it sort of until, I don't know, late December or something, and that was winter back then. And this room is the same room I was shooting it in, but goddamn, we don't have AC back in this room. It's really freaking hot. It's awful. We're actually getting AC installed. Can I see that in the camera? No, I'm not going to bother showing it. I'm putting a little mini split in back there. I'm actually installing it, so that's going to be in soon. So I'm going to be able to be cold in here and not be sweating my ass off trying to talk. Anyway, so stream of consciousness. These videos are pure stream of consciousness, whatever I'm thinking about. I don't know if I'm going to do it every single day, but I want to do it as often as possible so I can get more used to doing this and get more used to just speaking off the cuff at a camera, and more like, getting squashing bad habits that I may have and improving on things that I can improve on. I talk a lot with my hands. God, and this like positioning kind of freaking sucks. But whatever. Okay. So I've been thinking a ton because I've been working on my own business. And I haven't my business that I have that has actually worked is insurance. I am a I don't know how too far into this I want to go. I don't want people flagging me and identifying me, and it's probably going to happen eventually, but by the time it happens and it might matter, I'll hopefully be in a better position. Anyway, so I'm a Medicare specialist, but I also do individual health insurance. That has been the only business that has really worked for me, and it has worked because it's sort of like being a therapist. So a therapist can get to a certain point with a business, being self-employed, right? All I have to do is just meet with clients, and that's all I have to do is just meet with clients and somehow find them. Like, I don't have to have a million clients to really, get by. I just need a handful to really, actually get by. I'm not saying that I'm some, crazy rich guy, that I have some, booming business, whatever. So that's why it's worked for me. The reason why other businesses haven't worked for me, let me clarify. The reason why I wanted to get out of the insurance business is because it's boring as hell, and it's sort of low ticket, but sort of not low ticket because of the nature of what I'm doing. It's basically free, right? Like, Medicare insurance is free. Where I'm at, in my area, it's free for the most part, and you can buy more expensive stuff if you want to, and great, right? But it's really not that expensive anyway. It's $150 a month for full coverage of virtually everything. But all that aside, it's fucking boring, and it's low ticket stuff. And when you're dealing with low ticket stuff, what happens is you get these low consciousness kind of people. And it's not only low consciousness people, it's everyone from all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all wealth brackets. You get everyone. You get doctors, you get lawyers, you get You get business owners. I actually have a couple clients that are business owners. You get therapists. I have a couple clients who are counselors, therapists. Anyway, wow, the lighting's really bad. I just noticed that. Let's see if this helps. I can't. Well, whatever. You just have to deal with the bad lighting this time around. I'll fix it next time. So, anyway. The insurance business is boring as hell. It sucks doing low ticket stuff. I wanted to move into something else. Something with... I don't know. I guess there was a part of me that needed to prove to myself that I knew what I was doing. And that I knew I was valuable. And that I knew I was smart and creative and all these things. Because I never really had an opportunity to tangibly prove these things to myself. And, like... sitting around and just talking to motherfuckers about whatever doesn't do that. It might do that for some people. I don't know who those people are, but they're freaking weird. Doesn't do that for me. I'll tell you that right now. But, so, I got into real estate. I started reading real estate stuff, and people sold me on the, invest in real estate, using other people's money kind of crap. What I didn't know was how cutthroat of an industry it is, number one. Number two, how good you needed to be at sales in order to make it. So, I wasn't really good at sales. I can do insurance stuff because it's low ticket and it's easy, but even that I'm still not that good in. And I've learned this recently, and I've been studying sales more diligently recently, particularly one book. The dude who, the movie Wolf of Wall Street, the guy that movie is based on, has a book. I didn't know this about the guy, but he apparently revolutionized the entire sales industry. Who knew? But he has this book on sales, and it's really, really, really good. And I read that book, and ever since I read that book, it's, a lot more has been clicking, and I've been getting a lot better at it. So, I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but that's sort of what I've been doing lately, and it has improved my insurance business pretty well. But I still stuck, that's right, it was real estate I was on. I still sucked at real estate, right? Especially 3 years ago when I was completely green. I was so green and so naive. I sucked ass at all of that, and it didn't really come naturally. But it's not just those things either. It's everything involved. There's marketing. You have to know how to, you have to be able to be firm in your price and this kind of thing. You have to know how to negotiate. That's sort of part of negotiation. Oh, you have to know how to market. You have to know how to cold outreach kind of shit, and you have to be good at it. There's so much that's involved in it, and I had nothing. I had none of it. Hold on. One's a little peanut stuck in my tooth. So, what I've been thinking about for the past week straight is how hard it is to create a business. And people talk about this shit. You see people talking about this, but I don't ever see people talking about this. That is all of the things that you have to have these things in order to have an actual business. And it makes sense to start somewhere where you're like a specialist, right? You're like a Medicare broker or a therapist or an accountant or a lawyer or whatever, right? Whatever thing you do, that's your expertise. A marketer, right? A sales guy. You start out and you get some kind of sales job. You learn ins and outs of sales. You get practice. You get used to it. You do it and do it and do it, and you get really good. Then, right? You accumulate some capital, you go out, you find someone who can market something that you can sell or whatever, right? Or create a website, run SEO. That's all marketing shit though. But someone, right? Or some team or whatever who is there with you by your side, and you can sort of pour into the sales side of things and just profit off of that. And eventually you want to get salespeople and hire them and put them underneath you, and then you can focus on higher level shit. So I'm semi at that stage where I sort of, I want to move up in the insurance business, and it's actually quite easy to do that. Well, I shouldn't say it's quite easy to do that. Really, what that calls from me, what that's asking is go get clients and go get a lot of them. So basically, go market. Either learn how to market yourself and learn how to create these deals, create deals where you're getting leads somehow, right? Or hire someone to do it for you, which I don't really want to spend the money on that. So I'm sort of learning how to do it myself, and that's fine because it's actually, marketing is actually much more natural for me than sales. That's what I found out. I don't know. Anyway, I've been thinking about businesses and why businesses fail. And a lot of people, so there's so many different camps and so many different reasons why businesses fail. But there seems to be a common theme. And if we're thinking longevity, when I'm talking longevity, I mean like after you die, the business is still there and still operating. So when we look at long-term business, I'm talking about if you die, is it still there or does it die with you, right? Most people develop some kind of skill in their lives. It's usually one particular skill, maybe two. If like a therapist, as an example, they learn how to interact with their clients. They get a job at some kind of company or some kind of clinic or whatever that brings the client in for them, and then they just sit and they learn theory, tactics on how to approach people's problems and things like that. Well, cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever. And they focus more on that. So they're focused on a service that's trying to untangle their clients' problems. The issue is, should this person move into his own practice, right? Which happens, right? This happens frequently. I know someone who's actually doing this right now. And what you have to watch out for is this. You'll have clients. You'll have some kind of existing clientele because you've been working in the industry. I imagine you would have some kind of clientele or else you wouldn't be opening your own practice, right? So you have this clientele. How much time is that filling up in your week, right? Yes, you are now charging $120 an hour instead of making $30 an hour or whatever. And it's easy to look at that and be like, whoa, $120 an hour, that's amazing. It's like, yeah, but, if you're working, you can fill up your freaking entire schedule and work like 50, where's a freaking calculator? You could work 50 hours a week, let's say, right? And that's a lot of hours to work. 120 times 50 is 6,000. So you make $6,000 a week. It's like, okay, yeah, that's not bad. Times 4, 24 grand a month. Yeah, okay, not bad. But then when you look at everything that's involved, so you have to lease out a commercial spot, right? You have to pay you have to have some kind of insurance, I'm assuming you have to have something equivalent to E&O insurance and more expenses, business expenses, blah, 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 blah. You have to have like business licenses. Those expenses aren't that big. You're paying taxes, and you're paying both sides of the Medicare and Social Security tax. You have to hire an accountant. If you don't hire an accountant, you're fucked, and you're like paying way too much in taxes. You have to, he has to keep your books. He has to. There's a lot of expenses involved, and you wind up, including tax and everything, you can be paying like 50% of what you're making a month. Just out the window. So really you're making maybe like 14K, 15K, 12K, 14K, 15K, somewhere in there, right? A month, which is it's just shy of 200K a year. Okay, that's not bad, right? Pretty good. But you're working 50 hours a week too, and that kind of sucks. So like, it's easy to get into that, is what I'm saying. I shouldn't say it's easy to get there. It takes work to get there. And you have to know what you're doing to get there. But it's easy to rest there. It's easy to stop and just say, this is good enough for me. I'm just a therapist. And this happens with these kind of specialist kind of people. I know people who do this. I know a lawyer who does this. I know an accountant who does this. I know another insurance broker. Actually, I know multiple insurance brokers who do this exact thing, where they get comfortable. They get to a comfortable income level of, whatever. But it's still sort of like self-employment, not really a business. If you've read Kiyosaki's, what the hell is that thing called? The quadrant thing, where he points out the difference between being self-employed and being a business owner. They get stuck in that very easily, and the question is, why the hell does that happen? I've been like thinking about this. This is what I've been thinking about. This is the kind of shit I think about, just day in, day out. Just fucking sit there, spacing out on my phone, thinking about this horse shit. God. So it's easy to get stuck there because all your needs are being met. And on top of that, your identity is being fulfilled. I'm this thing. I'm a lawyer. I'm an accountant. This is my purpose. The mistake that they make is something like they place the service, which is whatever, right? If you're a therapist, it's your therapy. They place that service above them as individuals. And yeah, like, okay, you can't hire another therapist to do what you're doing because they won't do it as well as you. Yeah, you're probably right about that, actually. But it doesn't matter. You have to do your best to find the best people you can and pay them, whatever. It's like $30 an hour, I think, $40 an hour, something like that. Pay them that, and then the rest you have to pay all your expenses and shit. And by the way, when you hire people, you pay less in taxes. It's more on that for another day, maybe. But when you do that, you start learning how to delegate. You start learning how to take responsibility for people who are managing your clients rather than just taking responsibility for your clients. Your sphere of influence grows because the amount of clients that you can serve grows, because it's not limited to just your time. You now have 3 therapists under you, right? You can load each one of them up with 40 clients, right? 40 hours a week, full-time gig, whatever, right? So all of a sudden, you were doing 50 hours before, now you're doing 120 hours. Well, that's more clients, right? That means your sphere's influence is bigger. That means your responsibilities are bigger. Embrace that. Just embrace that. You become a more valuable person when you do that, versus just like my identity is completely wrapped up in my service, rather than my identity is in me and I am what's valuable. Yes, that's why you need to have other people handling low-level work. And yes, seeing clients is relatively low-level work. It's not high-level stuff. High-level stuff is like, I'm going to go open a brand new clinic in a different city. Like, that's some high-level shit. Mr. $30 an hour ain't doing that. He's just not. He has no idea what the hell he's doing. You think Mr. $30 an hour wagey guy has any idea how to do that? No. He could try and he'd probably fail. So, there's so much involved. You have to market. You have to build up hype. You have to find new clients. You have to step into a place where people have no fucking clue who you are, and you have to have them trust you somehow. And then you have to have people plugged in there to take care of them. There's so much involved. And this is why, I'm 100% certain, this is why businesses fail. And when I say fail, I mean long-term. And when I mean long-term, remember what I said about, like, after you die, is the business still there? It should be. I mean, assuming, short of some crazy-ass black swan kind of thing. Like the internet, right? Like, okay, if you're a newspaper company and the internet comes, it's okay. You're fucked. Just deal with it, right? Embrace it. Or transition and adapt, which is what they've done. But, if you get black swan like that, it's like, okay, that's a little bit different than, like, I was just too fucking lazy and complacent to just try to level up or try to do anything, try to take on more responsibility. Anyway, so that's what's been going around in my mind. And you know, I've sorted it out, and I'm not too worried about that for myself because I have a tendency to actually want to delegate. It's actually a problem of mine. I want to delegate and I want to get out of shit as quick as I can, and that's actually a problem. That has been a problem. It's the fucking Italian blood. I just want, like, I don't have to work, man. Come on. I don't want to work more than like 3-4 hours in a day. Give me a break, man. I want to do my like 3-hour little chunk, and then I want to spend the rest of it like celebrating and eating food and drinking wine. That's just, you know, that's the Italian way. But anyway, so that's, I don't know, you know, hopefully that's helpful to someone. I'm sure it is. You know, what I learned last time from doing these videos was that you never know who you're going to influence. There was some random ass guy. I don't know if you're going to watch these videos again. Some random ass guy on Twitter was like, I was watching his videos. He was saying this to my wife. I was watching his videos and they were really cool and they inspired me to do my own. I was like, what the hell? Who are you? I don't even know who you are. That's so cool. Anyway, God damn, man. Look, I'm like pouring sweat because it's like 90 degrees back here. Fuck. All right, I'm ending this now. And I wanted to do this live, but YouTube was being a pain in the ass and they wouldn't let me do it live. So they were saying 24 hours and then I'm able to shoot stuff live. So in the future, hopefully I can do it live. God, in the future, hopefully I can get this goddamn AC working because this is nuts. By the way, if you know anyone who's turning 65 and needs help with Medicare, send them my way. I don't think I'm going to get any sales out of that because I'm kind of crazy on these videos, but yeah, whatever. May as well put it out there, right? Peace.